What if I told you that the key to truly living lies in facing the one thing we fear the most? Have you ever thought about why we avoid talking about death? There are topics we avoid, whispers we keep to ourselves, as if merely mentioning them could summon them. Death is one of those topics, a collective silence that crosses cultures, beliefs, and generations. We don't speak about it. We don't look at it. We pretend it isn't there until it touches us. And when that happens, we don't know what to do. We don't know how to react. We don't know how to accept it. But tell me this, how can we live fully if we refuse to face what shapes us? Because that's what death is. It's not just an end. It's a mirror, a constant reminder that the time we have is limited, and because of that, precious. You might be thinking, why talk about this? Isn't it better to enjoy life and not dwell on what we can't avoid? And I understand. It's more comfortable not to think about the end. But let me ask you something. When you ignore death, are you really living? Or are you just avoiding what scares you most? In many cultures, death was seen as a counselor, something to be respected, not feared. In Japan, the concept of mono no aware highlights the beauty of impermanence. Cherry blossoms falling to the ground, reminding us that everything is temporary. In Mexican tradition, the Day of the Dead celebrates the memory of those who've passed, not with tears, but with joy, with life. And in the modern world, what do? We hide death. We turn it into a taboo. We pretend youth is eternal, that health will never fail, that we had all the time in the world. But what is the cost of this illusion? Now, let me bring this closer to you. Close your eyes for a moment. Think about the person you love most. Think about the moments you've shared, the laughter, the conversations. Now imagine a world where that person is no longer there. No, don't run away from that thought. Feel it, because that awareness reminds you to value the present, to be here, to say what needs to be said, before it's too late. Death, if we allow it, can be our greatest teacher. It shows us that perfection doesn't matter, but authenticity does. That time won't wait, but it's always renewing itself. That fear only controls us when we don't face it. And above all, that love, the love we give and receive, is what truly endures. So my question for you is this. When your time comes, and yes, it will come, how will you look back? Will you say you avoided thinking about the end, and because of that, never truly lived? Or will you smile, knowing you embraced death as part of the journey? That you used your time, however long or short, to create something meaningful, something true. Death doesn't have to be a taboo. It can be the light that illuminates the path. And when we look at it directly, we realize that what truly matters isn't how long we live, but how we live. If this message resonated with you, hit like so we can share this important conversation with more people. And tell me in the comments, how do you think accepting death could change the way you live? Don't keep this to yourself. Share this video with someone who might need a reminder to live fully, here and now. And of course, subscribe to this channel for more thought-provoking content about living intentionally and fully.